If you're thinking about investing in a vacation rental condo or upgrading the current one you have, today's video is for you. I'm going to be going over the top condo amenities for 2025. These are amenities that are going to increase your bookings, make your listing more attractive, and keep guests coming back year after year. So let's dive into it. The living room is one of the first spaces that your guests are really going to experience together. This is kind of where everyone congregates, right? So I'd say this is one of the most important spaces in your condo. Some amenities that you should be looking for: a smart TV, right? A big smart TV that you can fit in the living room, somewhere where guests can stream movies, videos, TV shows, different things like that. Super important to have a nice TV. Accent wall. Having a nice accent wall behind that TV can really make the photos pop. We have some condos that have a beautiful little accent wall, and below the TV, they also attach a really nice modern TV stand or electric fireplace. I've seen a few places with an electric fireplace, and even though we don't really need that all that much here at the beach, it does make for a really good shot. So adding something like that to really pizzazz it up and make it stand out is super key. I can't stress accent walls enough. I think those are a really great amenity. And then just having enough seating, right? Sometimes you need more than one couch. You might need a couch and a love seat, or a couch and a few chairs. Just be very mindful of how many guests you're trying to sleep in there. It's great to really push the number of people you can sleep in a place, heads in beds, right? But you want to make sure that the space accommodates them. There's nothing worse than you're coming on vacation and half your party has to sit at the dining table or at the kitchen bar just to watch the TV. So be really mindful of seating in your living room as well. The kitchen and dining space is the next area I'd really put your investment into, right? Another important space. It's going to be where people are cooking. Again, another area where folks are commonly hanging out. In the kitchen, updated appliances is a big thing, right? Stainless steel is typically what I'd go for. And then maybe either black appliances, and last thing I would do is white appliances. It just kind of gives an older feel. Countertops is another big thing, right? Think about how much surface area and how much visibility the countertops have. If you have kind of old, out-of-date wood countertops, it's really not going to be all that attractive. I would definitely recommend granite or quartz countertops. Really pizzazzes up the space and makes it attractive for guests that are looking at the listing. Ample dining space, kind of like what I was talking about on the living room. You want to have enough seating. Same thing at the dining table, right? The dining table is one of those spaces I really enjoy because I like to cook. I like to eat, right? When folks come on a vacation like this and they're staying in a condo with 2 to 3, 4 bedrooms, they're definitely going to be sitting at the dining table and having dinners together at that table. So having a place where everyone can congregate, again, they're going to make great experiences, make great memories off this stuff, and it's going to be associated with your condo, which in the future will drive those repeat bookings. And then one last unique thing you can do is something like a coffee station or a unique bar where people can put their, different drinks or spirits or whatever it is. I think that's a nice way to stand out. Not a lot of people do that, but having a coffee station with a really nice espresso machine, some syrups that they can add to the coffee, maybe some whipped cream, right? You're going to have a good property manager or a good system with your cleaner so those things get replaced. But it is something unique, and I think guests, when they come, they really appreciate something like that. They probably don't have that at home, so you're giving them that experience when they come on vacation, and they're going to love it. Bedrooms and bathrooms. This is probably one of the last spaces I would invest a lot of my money into. I think it's a good space to invest in, but if you're trying to prioritize and budget, this is probably put it last. That being said, I would say an essential item is comfortable mattresses. You can really ruin a guest stay with uncomfortable mattresses. Imagine your place is beautiful, it has everything a guest wants, but they're so tired because what they're sleeping on is just terrible, right? Everyone wants a good night of sleep, especially on vacation. So good, high quality mattresses are key. Having TVs in all the bedrooms is another big one. Sometimes I see folks leave TVs out of the bedrooms, and they don't have to be anything special. They don't have to be really big TVs, but just having them in the bedrooms, I think, is really important to guests, and we get that feedback a lot when the bedrooms don't have TVs. And then a nice accent wall, again, can make a bedroom really stand out. It can be an accent wall, it can be a little mural behind the beds. Those sort of things really make you feel like the host really cares and has put a lot of effort into their space, which kind of gives guests a feeling that they're going to have a really good time. So I love having little murals in there. Beyond that, having some nice light fixtures in the bathrooms, great comforters. Comforters is a cheap one, but having nice comforters on the bed really can also make or break a space. If you have some older comforters, it can really bring down the entire space. So again, I wouldn't say the most important space to invest in, but when you do, those are some of the things I would focus on. One of the fun ones is resort and condo amenities. This one is kind of out of your control, right? Once you buy a place, there's not too much you can do about the exterior at condos, but I do want to kind of go down a list of what we see here commonly in Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach. So outdoor pools are a necessity. Just about every condo, I don't think there's a single condo we manage at that doesn't have an outdoor pool. So those are pretty common and are a must. Beyond that, the next level I would say is a place with an outdoor pool, and then they also have hot tubs, lazy rivers, maybe even an indoor pool. It does get a little chilly down in Myrtle Beach in the winter months from November through February, so having an indoor pool can make you stand out in those months and attract in those winter guests that can be a little harder to grab. Outdoor games, I don't see this a ton, but at more of the resort type locations like a North Beach Plantation or a Beach Cove or a Vista, some of these nicer places have sort of more of a resort feel. We'll have outdoor games like cornhole and oversized chest and, you know, checkers and different things like that. Those things aren't too expensive, but I think guests really do enjoy those. A tiki bar, now we're kind of, you know, like I said, we're kind of leveling up as I go through these, but a tiki bar is a great place. You know, there's a few places in town we go to just because they have a nice kind of pool tiki bar. Guests really enjoy those, especially the parents. A gym is a nice one. I wouldn't say that's overly important, but having a gym is something that guests seem to really enjoy. And then the really big one is water parks and water slides. So there are a few places, this is particularly in Myrtle Beach. You don't really see a whole lot of this in North Myrtle Beach, but particularly in Myrtle Beach at the bigger condo hotels, there are some water parks. There are some resorts like Ocean Reef and Grand Cayman that have these nice water parks. Those are attractive too, right? Families love those because you can just, you know, you bring a kid to the water park and they're going to be occupied for a whole week. So that's another nice one to have. All those are important. You want to start with a pool, and the more you can add on top of that makes it all the better. All right, the last thing I wanted to end on are some bonus features. I wouldn't say these things are essential by any means, but if you're looking to just make an upgrade, small upgrade each year, and you don't have these things, it could be a great addition to have. One of those is a retro game console. We have some places that, just a few places that will have kind of an old school game machine, right? Where you can play Pac-Man or Galaga or some of those games. It's unique. Sometimes it really doesn't fit the design of the place, so I would consider that, but it is one way to stand out. Board games and puzzles, right? These are easy to buy, very cheap, easy to put in the condo, extremely hard to keep track of. So if you're gonna buy these things, just keep in mind, you're probably gonna have to replace them at least every 6 months. A fully stocked kitchen. Obviously, you always want your, make sure you have proper stock of items so guests can comfortably cook, any meals that they want to, but having stuff like a blender, a toaster, again, a nice coffee machine, stuff like that really, I think guests appreciate when they come. Bedside charging stations, I'm kind of getting to the nitty gritty here, but having those, again, it's just a small thing, but I think guests really appreciate it. At the very least, it should help you get those really coveted 5-star reviews. And then the last one, I forgot to mention this earlier, but elevators, right? In the off season, we don't get nearly as many rentals. Occupancy drops to below 40%, typically hovers around 20 to 30%. During that time of year, condos are really good for snowbird rentals, where you rent out to someone from the Northeast that's trying to escape the snow. They want to come down here and rent for a few months. It can typically be your best way to get revenue. However, they tend to be older guests. They almost never stay at places where there isn't an elevator. They either need an elevator or it has to be on the first floor. So one thing I didn't mention earlier, elevator is a really important amenity. And that's a wrap on this video, guys. I hope these amenities can really help you increase your revenue in 2025 if you implement them, right? That is the key here. But if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'm always looking for feedback. So if you guys want to put in the comment section what you're looking for, no question is dumb. Trust, there's a million questions, especially when I start with new clients. They always have a million different questions. So please, if there's anything you think I should do in the future, put it in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.